Yo, what's going on guys? My name's Ashton and welcome back to another YouTube video. Today I'm going to be showing you how to use Logic on your Mac device. Now, you're probably wondering, what is Logic? Logic is a music software that is primarily on the Mac OS, mostly for Apple users. Now, I don't know if you can emulate it onto Windows, I'm not too sure, but other alternatives to Logic is like Reaper or Pro Tools. I think it's Pro Tools. Probably is, but that's beside the point. Logic is a professional music software, same as Reaper and the others I've mentioned. However, obviously, it is only exclusive to Apple. Now, this is an industry standard, so let's hop right into it then, shall we? I'll see you on the flip side. See ya.
Alright, so here we are, Logic. So when you first boot up Logic, this is the screen you get. All we see is our MIDI, pattern, drummer and audio. So for this episode we're going to go through MIDI first. We'll get onto these in a later video when I get more experience with Logic. So let's create. So, as we can see here, this is Logic. Well, the main screen, anyway. Our first instrument that we log into is a classic electric piano. So, unfortunately, I do have a normal computer keyboard. I don't have a MIDI keyboard. So that's probably why you can hear the little clicks on my keyboard. I'll try and keep them as quiet as possible, but no promises. So, first of all, this does not come up naturally. The way to get that naturally is to press Command K on your keyboard. So, with that out of the way, let me just put that off to the side. Up here, we have our bar. This is so you can see your beats and your project. So, here we have the bars. This is a bar. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4. And that is your first bar. Now you're on to 2. So each of these numbers here represent a bar. Here is your beats. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. So it's the things in between and on the larger markers. Don't play. Here is your tempo, and you can change the tempo to however you want it. So here, so if you want to keep in time when you're recording, you press that little button there, that's your metronome, and it just allows you to keep in time. 1, 2, 3, 4, like that. But we'll go over recording in another video. But the way I just played that without using up here is just with the spacebar. It's dead simple. Here we got our time signature, so we can change the feel of it. So we can do, let's say 3/4, for example. Put the metronome on, and go 1, 2, 3, 1. It's pretty simple when you get your head wrapped around it. Yes, change project time signature. This little arrow, we can have a look at the other displays. So we can have a look in enlarged version of this, where we can see basically the same thing, except we've got div and tick. Now, div is basically just showing you like what it would be divided. So, or no, not divided. I thought it would be divided, but no, it will just show you how many times in between, really. And we can also go to beats and time, so you only see the beat and how long you've been recorded for. Now, Logic, for some reason, starts on 1, which is very odd in my opinion. But you know, 1 hour, you can see how long you've been recorded for. So let's say you've recorded a song. It will show you exactly how long you've been recording, which is a decent feature. Next we'll see beats in time, but enlarged. That's basically, you know, it's the same thing. You got your beats on its own, time on its own, custom, which is pretty good if you're if you have so many different channels. You've got CPU load. So basically, if you have too many different effects on here for your instruments, that will go up, and it could potentially stop your project from working, which you don't want happening. But we come to the things that are very useful. So giant beats display, in case you can't see well. So you've got these, and these will help you. And when you're making music for a video, this is very helpful, because you can see any point of the video where you want to add a specific sound or anything like that, and it will just make it so much easier to use. But other than that, yeah, that's the top bar up here. Let's put you back to normal. And now we'll see here. So you've got your reverse, you've got your forward, you've got your stop, play, record, free tempo recording, so that's without the metronome, I would assume. Yes, and it solos it. Get away. Off. And then you've got your loop, or cycle as they call it, and it basically just makes this a loop. So it goes to the end and it goes back, goes to the end, goes back. It's quite simple, and you can do that for as long as you want. So you can do this, It's also good to use that when you're trying to bounce down a project into a MP3 or a WAV file. Here is your replace. This is your tuning, but you have to have an audio track. You can't have a MIDI track like this. This is your soloing, I believe so. No, it's not. It's your cycle again. Interesting. No, it's not. What am I talking about? I don't know. Anyway, that's your metronome, and that's your counting. So you have a counting whenever you want to record something. Here is your master volume. So if you look down, well, not look down, if you look at the screen here, you can see that the master volume is always going to be at 0 decibels. That is the 0 point, that's where you want everything to be. Here is your loop station. Your loops are saviours if you want to make like something that's royalty free, technically. So we can go to instrument. We can also go to let's say electric guitar. Go to genre, and we can choose any of these genres that are highlighted. Let's go for rock and blues, for example. Let's move that out of the way a bit more. We can do pop rock guitars and all sorts. There are actually differences between these, as you can see. Let's say this one, this airy rhythm, right? That is an audio track. However, with this, it's not an audio track. It is in fact a MIDI track, and you can, as you see here in the piano roll, edit it. To open the piano roll, I just double clicked it with the left mouse button. So here it is. But I don't know, that's a bit iffy. The guitar sounds on Logic are quite iffy, to be fair. But you can edit it how you want to. Let me just get that in a good spot. So let's say if I want to, change the key and position. I can just do that and just play it. But you don't want to do that for too long, because that will drive you insane. To get rid of the regions and the tracks, just press the backspace button, and there you go. So let's go to this mammoth that is currently on screen. This is your, piano if you don't have a MIDI keyboard. So you can see I'm pressing I'm pressing keys on the keyboard so that this sound comes out just like a normal MIDI keyboard would, but you know, this is a computer keyboard, so it's not the best. But as you can see, it shows all the keys that you would have. So if I press A, go to A, W, S, E, D, and so forth. They don't have the R key on here because that's to record, and I don't really know what the I does. Never mind, I know what the I does. Takes off the information board up here. No, inspector. I am stupid. But you've got your library here. You've got your help button, which is actually going to be helpful. Maybe I should put it on, but you know, we ball. You got toolbar, so it opens up that. I don't use it, but you can if you want to. That's your smart controls, so that's like your volume, your treble and stuff. You got your mixing desk, and your piano roll editing bit, which you can use. So let's have a look at the library real quick. As you can see, we're using a classic electric piano. However, we can use different instruments on here as well. So let's get out of electric piano and let's go for, let's say, drums. We can let's go to Detroit Garage, and now obviously those are not the only sounds that you can be exposed to. Let's go down an octave by pressing Z, and we go to, there's your hi-hat, there's your kick, and there's your snare. See, it's not that bad. It's easy to get your head around. Let's go for another instrument, shall we? Let's say bass. We all like a bit of a bass, don't we? See, but there is something that you can do, pretty special. Press that. You can use your number buttons to pitch bend. Only by 20, so not 100. You can't go down a full octave, but it's good to know. It's good to use. Your velocity doesn't really matter when you've got a normal keyboard, because it's, you know, it's a keyboard. It's going to have the same input, even if you try to be quiet with it, which is a shame. Which is, yeah, quite a big shame, but unfortunately that's just how it is. We can go to orchestral and use a choir. Let's say mixed choir. Ooh. Let's put up an octave like that by pressing the X, and then it's amazing just what you can do on your computer keyboard. Like, let's go to pipe organ, for example. We can go for cathedral. See, it's just, and what I was just doing there, as you can see, up here, it shows you what chord you're playing. So if I do that, that's an F chord, F minor. See, it's simple, it's lovely, it's just a really good display. It's user friendly. It may not look like it at first, but it definitely is user friendly. We'll go over a quick sampler here as well. There is a different type of quick sampler you can use, but we'll probably go over that in another video as well. So let's say driving harp. So it just gives it different sounds. This is an arpeggiator, so it does 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3, and it will stop. There we go. You can use a digital gate, so 1 2. See, it gives you a bunch of different sound options, keys, you know. It just helps you get things done, really. Poor reception. Ooh, okay. Or organ. See, it's just really good. I know I'm probably going to keep repeating myself, but it is good. You know, you got your horns. Yeah, you got. Sure, why not? Let's have a look. It's just something that everyone should get used to, I think. Even though Logic is on the more expensive end, £174, but you get all of this with it, which, you know, I think that's a win in my book. You know? Anything can be a win, but unfortunately you do have to download quite a bit, and when you download, it does take up a bunch of storage. And, you know, not everyone has the most storage. You know, this can easily take up to like 80 gigabytes of your own storage, so I'd suggest getting a hard drive to move your entire library onto that hard drive. So let's have a look. See? Just different synthesizers, different everything really. It's just, I just love it. Clav. You know? Mellotron. And then, yeah, just world instruments as well. So like Koto. Obviously, it's not going to be the same as the real deal because it's computer generated. It's probably recorded and compressed a bunch, but everything it's not going to sound like the real thing, because if you have the real thing, it's more authentic. See, so that's really enough of, well, the library. That's just a quick rundown. We're going to have a look at the mixer. So up here, go here, and there we go. The mixer is really good for when you're making music. So my favourite bit of the mixer is to use different audio effects. So let's quickly go ahead and you know what? Let's go back to our electric piano. There you go, our electric piano, and we can start to add effects. So an effect I would add personally would be reverb. I love reverb, and here is what your reverb, but we won't go through that. But you can hear how it changes the sound. If you're not comfortable with, you know, using all this down here, you can just go to the presets and you can choose your own chambers, horns, your spaces, your synth reverbs. It's just great. I mean, look at this, 80s Golden Gate. See how it changes that? It changes the sound as well. Go to chambers, we go dirty chamber, or we go to drum tape chamber. It makes it ever so slightly just smaller. Horns, go big wave. See that? It has a longer time to decay, because look at this decay. If I put that all the way up, See, that's just amazing. I kind of like this, so I'm gonna keep it, but you can turn it off by this big button here, and that just shuts it off completely. We also have different types of overdrive. Well, say different types. This is overdrive, and you have this here. You can either just do the same thing, presets. You want crispy, you got crispy. Makes it nice and crisp. Dried mud. Makes it a bit more fuzzy. More like, I don't really know, but hard and loud. I can hear a sort of bite in there through my speakers. You can also use one of my other favourites, chorus. So you go down here into modulation, chorus, stereo, mono. So stereo just makes it so that it's left and right. Mono is just the full thing. But I just love chorus. I love using chorus. So if I go, actually no, you just get to mess around. So your rate is how wobbly it is, how fluttery it is, so like that. Your intensity is how intense it is, how vigorous it is. Your mix, there you go. It's just so fun to. It's just really fun to mess around with all of these. Different bits. You can mess with pitch. I love messing around with pitch, actually. Hold on. Because you can just do whatever you want with it, really. Look at this. You can do like a harmonizing kind of thing, or the thing is with the mix, you can just make sure that you don't get the original note in it as well. So there's the original note. There's 100% mix, and you can go up as much as you want, and the sense but I love going down. I think that goes down an octave. Yeah, a semitone is half a note. Well, not half a note, it's one note. A tone is two notes, so you're going down a whole octave. Am I? No, you're going almost an octave, because a octave is 8 notes. This is 6 notes. So you're going down 6 notes lower. Which is pretty good. But down here on the mixer, you have this. So this is your volume, obviously, because I put it all the way up so you can actually hear it through my microphone. But you've got your master. Whenever you are mixing a song that you have made, you need to make sure that everything is below 0. Everything here should be below 0. If it's not below 0, that means you're clipping. And when you're clipping, that is when it starts to get painful for your ears, and you don't want it to be painful for your ears, because you will probably get tinnitus, which is not good for any musician, especially drummers. So, yeah, that's about it. That's about it for this video. I'll send you back to the camera now. Alright, so, yeah, see ya.
I would like to say a massive thank you for watching the entire video, and if you got this far, then just know that there are more videos on the way at some point. I will have to keep things trying to at a slow pace, because it's mostly because I'm at uni and I'm doing studying. so I don't have much time to do YouTube on the side as I thought I did, mostly because it's something I want to focus on first. I want to be able to get my degree and then I can work on YouTube and doing videos. So anyway, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one, hopefully. Goodbye for now. Ashton out.